Hello, I'm Dr. Sarita, and I was thinking about different ancestral traditions and people getting prediabetes. So I was talking with a wonderful person who is of Indian origin who found out that he's getting prediabetes. He's not overweight, he's in his 30s. And he works in computer technology, and he is vegetarian. And we were talking about what foods are good to eat in a vegetarian diet. And the whole idea of breads and rice are very fundamental in a vegetarian diet, but there's also other things with it. Like people have lentils, people have the breads are different than the seed oil preserved breads in the grocery store. And we're also industrializing things like naan and rotis. We're industrializing these breads. Those breads are not the same as making your own roti and naan. And who's got time for that? I think that's the other easy thing for me to say is I'm 56 and I'm winding down and I have more time to actually cook. But I really didn't know. I did not know how to cook when I was younger. And I also think about a dear cousin who has graciously been teaching me about home cooking. She really saved my life in many ways. She encouraged me to get an Instant Pot. And when I got an Instant Pot, there was less cleanup. It was much easier for me to start making food myself. In my cousin's vegetarian diet, she makes a lot of lentils. She makes her own breads. She, has a lot of vegetables, and there's a lot of spices. And then there's also citrus or lemon on top of the food. I think about a parallel thing is, and they have pickles, they have, again, a lot of vegetables. I think also about the Mexican tradition. The Mexican tradition, people have flatbreads, and they have rice, and they have pickles and lemon on the rice. So these things all came together as an ancestral diet. So I don't want to wreck anybody's ancestral diet. And I talked with my cousin, old is gold. Listen to what your great-grandmothers did, what your great-grandparents did. Don't listen to the doctors over what is in your ancestral tradition. But again, it's kind of hard. Oh, and there's a puppy. It's kind of hard to know. Like, he's scared of me right now. Oh, isn't he a sweet pea? So he's wagging his tail. Well, because when we say, just avoid all rice, well, Japanese people eat lots of rice and they're thin. Well, they eat rice in an ancestral way. They have vinegar with the sushi rice. They have a whole system. So I think, again, why did we ask the doctors and dietitians what to eat? Go back to your ancestral traditions. Now, why is it so dangerous, though? When you come to the United States, it's hard to know, what is healthy. And I was also thinking about what is healthy here. So anything that existed 100 years ago that probably doesn't have a zillion ingredients in it is healthy. Okay. So we were talking about what are the good oils to eat. So, these oils are known to our bodies. And same with, when you think about it, the fruit sugar and the fruits. If you're eating fruit in an ancestral tradition, there's nothing wrong with fruit. But when we get into these habits of eating where we're just, say, having all fruit smoothies, we're not having any, we're not in balance. There's just no money in saying eat an ancestral diet. But this is another problem. If you're eating a bunch of packaged, processed flatbreads, that is not healthy. You know, if the bread never goes stale, that's not a healthy bread. But it's hard and it's not. I think, again, why are we asking the doctors what to eat? We invented penicillin, that's great, but we did not have the balance and traditions that came out of these diets. And again, in the vegetarian Indian diet, there's a whole system of how to eat. And I cannot say I was raised in that system. I did not get that class as a young child. I'm so blessed to have cousins who are teaching me about these traditions, you know, as now I'm not 6, I'm 56, I'm learning these things. And I have so much respect for these traditions. I don't have as much respect for people eating a processed diet, just saying I am vegetarian and vegan. Well, hey, I was vegan for about 2-3 weeks, and it did help me with some problems, with some skin problems, and I was vegan for a bit. And I respect that diet in the intention initially, I really do, but I also go, it's very, very difficult to get enough B vitamins, and in that diet, in a vegan diet, you really have to supplement. And I don't know how to do that. Now, if you're also doing a vegetarian diet with just processed food, that, you know, if you're eating a lot of breads and pastas that never go stale, you know, the bread never goes stale, these are likely not healthy foods. So just some things to think about. And I really like Glucose Goddess. You know, she goes into the biochemistry of when you eat food, how does it affect your blood sugar level? And there's a lot of traditions with, say, you have yogurt with the rice. Yogurt has fat in it. Full fat yogurt is great. Dahi is great. And that will, if you have a yogurt that blunts the spike of the glucose, putting coconut oil, my cousin was saying, people were talking about that might be helpful with rice. Yeah, having a fat with the rice probably blunts some of the glucose spike. Having vinegar with a vinegar like a citrus, like a lime or a lemon on your food helps cut the glucose spike. And so many traditions have that, and we've kind of lost that. You know, people putting lemon or lime on top of their food. Mexican tradition, people put lemon or lime on the tacos. People do that in Indian culture, put cilantro and lime on their food, and that's also wonderful. Eastern European culture, people had sauerkraut with their meals, sauerkraut before a meal, pickles before a meal, and that acid helps blunt the glucose spike. So I wanted to not wreck anyone's ancestral traditions in making my channel, so I want to be humble. My MD is minor deity. I am not a major deity, but I think it's really about eat more like our ancestors, less frequent eating, don't snack as little, and if you aren't hungry, don't eat. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That was a breakfast cereal slogan. That didn't come from medicine. A day without orange juice is like a day without sunshine. I heard that constantly when I was a kid. That was from selling orange juice. That wasn't from any health study. You know, have a snack. That was from public broadcasting, though. I remember public broadcasting, who was probably funded by some snack food company, telling me, have a snack of cheese. I remember hankering for a hunk of cheese. That was on when I was a little girl. And there's nothing wrong with cheese, but having a processed cheese food as a child is not going to hurt you. But then doing this when you're older and snacking when you're older, it really isn't good. And when you're a child, you can snack so much and you're still going to be healthy. But as we get older, our we've got that programming of snack, 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 eat every 2 hours from our childhood, but it's not serving us because now we're getting more classic and vintage, and we would be better served to really eat more like our ancestors who ate probably 2-3 meals a day, had space between eating, ate during the daylight hours, did not have sugary drinks, did not have fruit juices all day, did not have soda. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope this may have been helpful. Have a great day.